Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Your boy King J, coming here with exclusive content yet again. We got my man Joey Fury here. What's going on, man?
I'm back. It's good to be back. It's been a little while.
It's
Thanks for
been,
having me on again, man.
the first time you was the first person on my Teach Me episodes, and look what happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's crazy. You was the first person, and then literally, I wasn't even gonna finish it. It was literally like, oh, I'll do a couple. And then it just seemed like everyone was like, no, they really liked it, so I started doing more. So,
The
happy
man who
to
started it all.
trust me. It's crazy. So, I'm just trying to figure out what you want for season 4 characters that you play. So I know you play Jack. I know play Mr. Paul Phoenix. I have to go and say it right, because Americans,
Pow.
get at me all the time. So I say Paul. So
You can
Paul,
say
Jack,
pool.
Pool. All right, Pool, Jack, Pool, Jack, and Marduk. What do you want for them in season 4? Let's break it down to like one character right now. So let's say Paul Phoenix.
Okay, so with Paul, the character he kind of went in a direction that was unexpected to me. Thing I always liked about him was uh, just really kind of moving around the screen and like looking for the Death Fist with punish. And he had like in season 1 the super high damage Death Fist, like 60 damage.
Yeah.
And then the really strong block punishment game. And so I liked him in that sort of like defensive role. But since then they gave him like the evasive shoulder attack forward 1+4, which was, I mean, it's super good. Kind of a weird thing for him to have.
Yeah.
And they gave him the new combo filler, the new wall combo. And so much of like the changes for a lot of characters in season 3 was like buffing wall carry and combo damage.
Yeah.
Like the direction the game is going is already like a little different than like what I'd want for Paul. I would want them to like tone down some of these like wilder mechanics and like give him that 60 damage Death Fist back. But there's really no turning back at this point because he's already got like all this high damage stuff.
Nope. We saw the thing on you saw the thing on the season 4 trailer, right? Where you had the power crush.
New power crush, yeah, they're always like going like more crazy stuff, more power crushes, more wall bounces, more like evasive attacks.
Yeah, yeah.
But so like more concrete things that I can say. There are certain like old school like legacy things that he used to have. He doesn't have them anymore, and I think it'd be really cool if they brought them back. One of them is the Tekken 4 Demo Man extension off of down 1. You can do down 1, 4, 2, 1+2.
And then that.
Yeah, yeah. If they made that like a just frame and that was his new wall combo, I think that would look like so tight.
I know what you're talking. I've seen it. I remember seeing it, and I was wondering why it's not in the other games. So he does the hammer fist, sweep, elbow, and then bam.
Yeah, the full demo. Like the blue sparks go off. If that was the wall combo, that'd be like so sick.
Why did they get rid of that? Is it because of wall combo damage?
It was only in Tekken 4.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Like literally, I was like, but then I didn't see it in no other game since. I was like, huh? Why is it not in no other game?
Tekken 4 had some weird stuff like that. But
yeah.
That would be cool if it came back. The thing is, he's already got the 3-2 sway 2 wall combo,
which is
so. I mean, that's so. I guess there wouldn't like really be a purpose for it, but maybe they could work it in somehow.
Yeah.
And then also, he used to have off of counter hit down forward 4 the boot.
Yeah.
It put him in like the stun animation where they could hold forward to get out of it, but if they didn't hold forward, you got the 3 Death Fist.
Yeah.
I always liked that. That was. I think they took out almost all of those, right? They don't have the stuns that you hold forward to get out of anymore.
You know what? I think because they all them now is where you have to hold down now. So
I think like the jumping neutral 3 kicks might still have that stun. It's like a really weird thing.
Yeah.
No like counter hit moves have it anymore.
Nah, they took that out. I know exactly the one that they do the jumping kind of like roundhouse kick to your belly.
Yeah.
Forward. Yeah, look, it just looks so silly. So like, all right, cool. So in terms of like, would you want like, so those are the moves that you're saying that you would want, right? But like, do you feel like there's anything you would want that they want them to change about the character right now? Because for me, I played him and I think he's pretty stiff as a character. You know, he's got damage. He's
Right.
Wall combos are ridiculous. 3-2 back sway 2. Pressure. Obviously he's got up back 2 as well for just the counter hits, fishing for counter hits and stuff like that as well. But like, as a character, like just moving around and trying to like, for me, I don't personally feel like he flows. You might feel different, so I wanted to know your opinion on that.
Well, so I think maybe his playstyle has actually like lost a bit of personality in this game because I mean the optimal way to play him is, I guess some people could say it's like a little bit boring because you're sort of just throwing out these counter hit launchers and it's just like, well, I'm trying to catch their timing. You just run around the screen, you're trying to
and all the stuff. Yep.
Sway 4, up back 2. You're doing a lot of sway 2 because it's got so much range. And I guess he used to be like a bit more wild, like unpredictable. Maybe some people will say like the movement in Tekken 7 has something to do with that.
Yeah.
He used to be a lot about like doing like an evasive sidestep and then like getting the death fist.
Yeah.
But I think he's a very, very complete character in this game. I really like when you can look at the move list and like every move has a purpose. Like you can see how it would be useful in what situations. And he's gotten to a point where pretty much every move you can say that about. So it's hard for me to like really say what I want changed about him at this point because he's just so like fleshed out and complete. If anything, like, all anyone ever says about him is like he needs to be nerfed. So it's like, what can I even like ask for? Like, oh, they should buff this, they should buff this. Like people are like, take out the rage art cancel. That's definitely not going to happen. But people,
why does he have it though? Why is he the only one that have it?
Like the mechanics that he has, people like don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand if there was other characters that had like cancelable rage arts and stuff like that, because his one is just ridiculous. Yeah,
only him.
The late hot kick, down forward one, sway back, like all the combos that he does, or 3-2 into sway back. All these combos just look crazy.
Did you see the combo that MD Luffy posted to Twitter yesterday?
The death is
the death combo, yeah.
This is what I'm saying, and it's like, this is crazy. Like, this is what the character is capable of, and it's like, I think everyone's kind of in season two. We kind of knew that he was strong or like really good, but it was season 3 where they added the 3-2 sway back 2. That was like, what? And then the mid extension from the low mid into the mid
sway 3-2-3. Yeah, weird stuff. I think the crazy thing is that I don't think he's the best character. Like he's that crazy. I don't think he's not number 1.
Oh yeah, he's not number 1. But he's like top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For balancing, it's a question of like, should you try to bring everyone like up to that level, like of being that good? I mean, obviously you're not going to do it just by giving everyone that kind of damage. I mean, damage is like his thing.
But that's what they done in season 3 though, right? Because if you look at Dragunov, Dragunov, Josie have got these crazy wall carries now. Geese has got like, a normal stage. Geese can do damage. Like this is what they've done in season 3. That they pretty much brought everyone up, and then it's like, well, there's some characters that are missing. You've got the Gigas. You've got all of these other characters. Actually, Gigas is another character I want to talk to you about. Actually, I just
okay,
yeah. So
they balance the game with damage. Basically, is what they're doing right now.
Right, and I don't know if you've been seeing or even feeling like how season 3 is, but season 3 to me, you can't play that traditional, staying, poking. You can just go crazy and you can do good.
Well, so yeah, I'll probably bring this all the way around, like when we get to Jack. But a lot of people have noticed, excuse me, that I'm playing like a lot of Marduk, a lot of Fok, and I agree with what you said. Like, if you want to win, you need to pick a character with some like seriously cheap shit. I'm like, I want to win with cheap stuff because screw like just poking it out like hit by hit. I want to be able to get into rage and do 80%. Like if I'm outplayed for most of the round.
There we go. And this is what I'm saying. Like I'm happy that more people are open to say it and seeing this, because it's like, the way how the game is, it's cool to say, all right, I'm gonna play this character. For example, I used to love Armor King in Tekken Tag 2. I used to play Armor King of Marduk, but in Tekken 7, to me he's just not good. And you know, I've seen JTR try. I've seen other, like, not many people try, but they've played him, and I'm watching them little margin I've watched, and it's like, yeah, I see the okay stuff you lot are doing, but he's just not gonna win.
He's not cheap enough.
Yeah, he's just not gonna win.
Not cheap enough.
You know, that rage drive of his is, people say, oh, you can, it's basically like an unblockable because you can do lows and, you know, force them to not dark. And I get the mentality, but you could do crouch slash into while standing 4. I get the mentality, but at the end of the day, it's just not good. What happens if you rush him down? He can't get that crouch slash if you're rushing him down.
Right.
So, you know, to me, it's just hard. That's why you see, I've seen, you know, we had a Tekken 7 on online tournament, the online challenger. I think it's online challenger. Yeah, so the online challenger, the EU one, right. And the person that won was a Fakaram player. You know, and when you look at like the people that were at the top, they were playing the characters, man, the characters that we're talking about, and. Even when I'm looking at other tournaments, you won a tournament, right, with Fakaram, right?
It was like a tournament last week, just like small, like local thing.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't downplay it, bro.
Sorry, Dragon Con.
There we go.
It was immediately after WSOE, and I won that with Fak against Glaciating, who had just won WSOE.
Yeah. And that's crazy. That's to actually, because I was paying attention to it, and I was like, all right, cool. I was watching, and I was like, huh? Fakaram. Like, I was looking and I was thinking, you're playing Fakaram. Like, I was so confused for long. Like, I thought they had the names changed wrong. Cause I know the guy that you're playing usually plays a lot of characters. So I was like, oh yeah, maybe it's him. Right. And then I looked, and I was like, Joy?
So then in grand finals, it ended up being Fak v Fak. And then final game, Fak versus Leroy. So like, it was sort of just came to this like, oh, we're gonna do it this way, huh?
Oh man! All right, cool. We'll move on from Paul Phoenix. Move on.
Yeah, I guess like in conclusion, there's certain like little legacy things that would be cool to see, like just for the characters, like variety and aesthetic. But in terms of his strength, I feel like I can't really ask for anything else. He's like totally fleshed out as a character. So.
All right, I got you with that one. That's cool. All right, let's go on to Marduk. Now, I know this is going to be interesting because I get asked a lot, why do I not play Marduk? Why, when are you playing Marduk? I get this asked in my streams, comments, like, you know, even a video I put up with Gamryu today. When you play Marduk. I'm like, thinking, bro, like, I really want to play this character. And don't get me wrong, he's very good, he's very explosive. But he's just not Leroy good. And what I mean by this, I know this is going to sound funny. What I mean by this is, if I run up to you, I can do back 4, down 3-2, orbital, down forward 1. This is 5 options right now. Down 2.
A lot of coverage on all of them. Yeah.
Exactly. And Marduk, yeah, you know, we've already discussed the down 3, down 4 to try and open up your opponent a bit. Tackle, command grabs. We've tried. I feel like those are good tools to open up someone. But if you want the solid, like, you know, fundamentals that I want to open you up, all Leroy has to do is literally run up to you. You're guessing for your life. Like,
that's true. It's totally true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, down 3-2. You've got hit by down 3-2. You are now taking a mix-up now. Like, what are you going to do? Sidestep? Probably he has back 4. That's a homing low. What are you going to do? What, are you going to stand there? I mean, that's fine. You stand there. I'll do forward 4.
Right.
And this is why, like, you know, I want to know from you, because I know you've been playing Marduk. I want to know, what's your experience like with Marduk so far? Like, obviously, I know you said you're playing Fakaram now. Obviously, I still know that you've got a selection of characters, but what's your kind of, like, you know, experience up until this day right now with Marduk? How you feel about him?
So when he first came out, season 2, I thought he was good enough to win with, but I didn't think he was like crazy, like super strong.
How come?
The main thing was that I felt like his whiff punishment was like kind of underwhelming. And And so I had to sort of deal with like the learning curve of just getting back into playing him because I obviously went like 2 years of Tekken 7 without using him at all. He wasn't around.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of get used to using him in tournament again, learning the matchups again. It was like a little bit of a, I don't know, just like growing period with the character.
Yeah.
But I was able to win like a couple big events with him early on. And I noticed like, wow, his rage drive is like insane, like how much damage he can do if he gets a launcher.
Mm-hmm.
But then season 3, they like buffed down forward 1 a ton. Like it has like this amazing range, amazing whiff punishment. They gave him a few other buffs. I was like, wow, this character is like crazy now. This is amazing. So I got to a point where I feel like the most comfortable with him in a tournament setting of any character.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think we talked about like a few months ago, he's got all of these like defensive tests that he can perform on people with the command grabs, the tackles. And if that stuff is working and the opponent's defense isn't on point dealing with that, then he just runs them over. And I love that because it gives me like a sense of security and consistency. Like if I'm fighting a mid-level player who I know is pretty dangerous, but I have like a good amount of confidence that they're not going to be able to pass all of these defensive tests,
Yeah.
then like I feel very stable. Like I'm going to win, and I don't have to like play a very read heavy game or like engage in neutral that much. Like I can really just run these tests on them.
Yeah.
If they're not breaking the throws, they're not breaking the tackles. If they don't know the OP situations, like I'm gonna win.
So how do you feel when you fight against like a top level? Like imagine like the top level players and.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so if I fight against someone super top, their Marduk defense is like amazing. Like they break vast majority of tackles. They don't fall for like silly Oki situations where they're taking like huge ground throw damage. They're breaking like a lot of throws. Then it sort of gets into what you were just mentioning. Like you run up on him with Marduk and you do your poke check. Like maybe you start doing some down fours because you want him to duck, or you do a back four for some coverage. After that situation, you're very minus. Like people say, like you just give up your turn after all sorts of stuff with Marduk. And that's sort of like part of the style I'm used to with using him. Like if I'm gonna go for a counter hit strike or go for a poke, even just go for my 1 down 2, I know that I'm gonna be on the defensive after that. And in terms of defending with him, I know I need to make big reads with the low parry. I might have to make big reads with the reversal. There are characters like Fok now who have the 13 frame down forward 1 with a ton of range, good tracking, a bunch of extensions. And those tools, I think, against like the really good people, that's what you want. You want those really reliable, fast tools. And so that's why I've been using Fok against certain players who I feel like have that phenomenal defense against Marduk. Because you can't just like rush them down and poke in that way with Marduk. You're just going to be negative after everything.
Makes sense. So what stuff would you add? So if there was 2 things that you could add to Marduk, what would be the 2 things you would add to Marduk? It could be from previous games as well.
So I kind of get like the same feeling with Marduk as I do with Paul, and that he's like very complete. He does what he's supposed to do very well. So I can't be like, you know, give me like a Fok down forward 1, like make his down forward 4 like 0 on block or something like that. But so yeah, like I feel like he's very complete. Like every move seems to have a purpose. So he serves his purpose for me, like in tournament. I guess there may be like a few moves that would be cool to see tweaked a little bit. One is his down 1, the elbow drop. I was just playing Tekken 5 with Nash the other day. I think that move was like +6 in that game. I don't want it to be +6 in this, but I think something cool they did in Season 3, the counter hit property on his forward 4, it like slams him into the ground and like stuns him, and you can get like guaranteed follow-ups. I think having that property on counter hit down 1 would be cool. It would just sort of make it like a more rewarding option in his counter hit game.
Yeah.
And then this is an attack that he can do that doesn't like totally give up his turn. Like it's 0 on block, it puts him in crouch, so it's not really advantage, but he's not getting mixed up after either. So I think that would be like a reasonable tool to give him that like sort of allows him to keep offense flowing and keep his counter hit game flowing. That doesn't totally kill all of his momentum, but it's also not like super cheap like a down forward 1 like 13 framer. It's still kind of linear, a little bit slow, but at least he can like kind of keep his flow going after he's like striking you. So if they like buff that counter hit property, like so it slams them down, you could get maybe like a ground throw mix up, or something like guaranteed stomp. I think that would be a cool mechanic.
No, that's cool. I feel like another one that is good is he's down 2-4. So he's down 2-4.
That move used to be so good.
So good. In tag 2. The damage.
God. Alligator combo.
Yeah, you'd be scared for your life. It's like, bro, I'm not getting nowhere near Marduk. I'm back at dashing. But now that move is just like, it just tickles you. So it's like, oh, bam, bam.
They nerfed the range a lot. Yeah, they nerfed the range a lot. So
I think that's one that I would want. But like, yeah, if you got one more.
I kind of agree. That would be sick. I want that move to be buffed again.
So yeah, that's that move. Okay, cool. Shall we move on and speak about Gigas?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else with Marduk.
And this move as well, actually, full crush.
Oh yeah. They did buff that.
It's trash.
They buffed it but I never use it.
It's trash.
They could make it more evasive still, like give it the fall forward 1+4 treatment, and just make him like fly over to the side.
Yeah, like it's just there's no reason to use that move. I've never really used that move at all.
It's pretty tough to make it work. Yeah. It's not great. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that move in a while.
See?
Yeah, they could tune that up. I'm not sure. You think just more evasion? Just like send him off on the sidestep even further?
I think it should just be because he has terrible outstanding punishment. I would say maybe, I know people ain't gonna agree with this, but I think maybe make it like a homing, like shh. I think that would be sick. You know, like it's just.
I mean, it's a high, so
high homing, yeah.
It's fine, yeah.
Because right now, there is no use for that move. It's like, oh, as soon as you see him crouch. Okay.
yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah.
I could do for like maybe a damage buff on his while standing 4.
The knee?
Not like, yeah, sure. I mean, everyone's always saying like how his while standing punishment's so bad, and I guess he's designed to be that way, like it's justified. But I don't know, let's make it hit for like 30, so they can't do all these like -13 moves all the time.
Damn, 30 damage.
Give me the 30.
Damn. All right, let's move on. We're gonna talk about Gigas now. We'll talk about Gigas. Moving on. We'll talk about Gigas, and then we're gonna go for Jack.
Simmer down. Simmer now. Couple kicks to your boat. I'm a winner now. Like Eddie with the feet. I'm a killer now. Simmer down. Simmer now.